Welcome back, everybody, to the Online Battle Podcast. We're going over episode 8, DD. Probably our last podcast of the season, really. So it's your last chance to give your ups and downs.
Up for me would be, I would have to say, I'm gonna say Aspen, up for me. And for down would be, I'll have to say probably Q since she's by herself. So I'll say her.
Why Aspen up?
Because I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you look at it from a different angle, like if the players didn't know each other, she would not be where she is right now. Basically, she did it strategically, like she had her blind stuff. It's a smart move, but in my eyes, it seems like she was carried to where she is at because she always had those two working for her. So it's basically like she's like head honcho and they're like the maids and stuff. So
I mean, I do think that was kind of her strategy, though, in a way.
yeah, it was a strategy. I'm just pointing out. Like I see that.
Let's see where to begin. Also, before I start, just in case anybody from Survival 3 watches this, because they've been asking when their season's going to air, and I don't know yet, but sometime during the summer, Online Survival 3 will air, just so those players know this. Okay, so we'll start with this twist, DD, where basically if you win this elimination, you're the leader in the next elimination, the last elimination, and basically make the end. Are you surprised that Mike was the only one really going hard for that?
I'm not surprised because Mike knew if he didn't win, he was going to get eliminated. So, well, he was going to be at least have a higher percentage of eliminated, and it will be on somebody else's terms. So it is smart that he went in for his own terms and took the risk and came out champion.
Do you think anybody else should have tried to do that though?
I think probably either Kelsey or Treasure. Because I feel I was cheering for one of them to win. Because they probably had a better chance of winning over them, but they didn't, so they're out.
Yeah, I mean, Dillion put up a fight in that elimination with Mike. It was only by one question that he lost.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like maybe Kelsey would have done better though, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too.
And also, I didn't really make the episode because I think Fanguy also kind of wanted to go in, but I guess he kind of didn't understand the rules because he won leadership, so he couldn't vote himself in. He thought maybe he could vote himself in when he was a leader, but that was not the case. So Fanguy also kind of did want to go in, but he won the leader, so he didn't. Now, what are your thoughts on DeLeon kind of volunteering himself as well?
I wouldn't have done that, even if it was a joke. I wouldn't have did it because like you're one of the big targets. So I would have been like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all put whatever y'all want to put. I wouldn't even say nothing. And when they asked who else want to go in, I was just being quiet like everybody else. That's just me. Knowing that, and Dillian knowing, no offense to Dillian, if he's not good at challenges like that, I would just stay quiet.
Do you think he was joking, or do you think he just kind of knew that Aspen and Fanguy were probably going to vote for him anyway?
Both. I think he was joking about it, but he knew they was most likely going to put him in. But what can you do?
I kind of want to circle back to that leader challenge where they basically had to guess the majority of what people would say and get some of your thoughts on who won the majorities.
I can't even remember.
I wrote some of them down, but so Delia won most honest thoughts.
I think the majority said that because he's like, I'm not gonna say he doesn't lie, but he doesn't like sugarcoat anything. Like he's blatant. Like that's probably why they said that.
Now, what do you think about most people saying they want to have lunch with Aspen?
That surprises me. Because I would have thought Dillion because he's funny. And Aspen was barely there, but then again, a lot of people already knew Aspen, so I guess that's what played a
Do you think
part.
that's just more of her social game, Aspen's social game?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Mike was chosen to most likely stab you in the back.
I don't like that vote. I think they were going by their season. I don't like that vote because I would have assumed it would be Fan Guy that would be the one that would stab you in the back. But they said Mike, and I'm confused as to why they said that.
I mean, Fan Guy would probably feel that Mike stabbed him in the back early in the season.
I mean, but he stabbed him in the back too.
Did he?
Kinda.
How so?
Because he was in an alliance, basically just using him for numbers, knowing he was going to cut them the first chance he gets when he got rid of the ISO people.
Q and Mike got biggest threats.
I can see that. I can see that because they're so open and strategic, and they've been like in danger numerous times, and they're still in the game. Like that's the threat. You have to get those people out in order to win.
They also are both pretty consistent at challenges too.
Yeah, that too. Mm.
Let's see. Most wanted to see Treasure win if they wasn't them.
Yeah, I would have want Treasure to win too. If I wasn't Kelsey, I would have want Treasure to win.
I do feel like Treasure was the most like pure player. She wasn't any stabbing anybody in the back or scheming hardcore.
Which is why she won that vote. She definitely should have been one of the ones in the final four.
And Fan Guy got person they wanted to see win the least. Thoughts?
That makes sense. It makes perfect sense, actually. Because, like, from the beginning, he was in all the drama and stuff. Then he was part of this big alliance, and it's just basically taking over the game with people not knowing. Then they finally know he's still taking over the game. So I wouldn't want him to win either, because I would be bitter.
How do you feel about Fan Guy at this point? Because I feel like at the beginning, Fan Guy thought you hated him on this podcast. So have you changed any towards?
I don't hate anyone. I just have strong dislikes for actions. That's it. But Fan Guy, now looking at it like personally, not personally, but like socially, I still don't like his gameplay socially. But strategically, if I look at it from a strategic point, it's actually a pretty good gameplay. So I can't knock that or be mad at it. But still, like socially, trash.
Now, Fan Guy, Aspen, and Q won leaders. Q winning her third leader in a row. Any thoughts on those three being the leaders this round?
At this point, I really don't know because, like, I just know Q got to win again if there's another challenge. But them being leaders, I guess it was the best case scenario for this round. I'm not sure how any other way it would have went, with the exception of Treasure being in the final four. But I don't know. What was the challenge anyway?
That was the one when they had to be in the majority.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can't think straight. My memory is just all out of whack since I failed. But
Okay, so my question is, Mike wanted to go in pretty hardcore, but should they have let him go in?
no, just because if I was a leader or like part of the people that voted in, just because he simply said he wants to go in, I was like, well, I want to vote for Treasure or I'm going to vote for somebody else. I'm not voting for Mike. You think I'm going to let you do what you want to do? No. So I want to put him in.
I feel the same way, honestly. That's if I play a game, I'm pretty like, if somebody wants something that bad, I kind of want to do the opposite. Unless they're like my main ally, then.
Right. I'm like, no, I would not have voted. That was an easy vote. Even if it was easy, that's just dumb to me.
Your old isolation players kind of beat around the bush voting for him. They seemed like they kind of didn't want to vote for him, but then they ended up doing so anyway.
Gotta be stronger than that to play with these convicts. Like you have to be stronger. You can't go in a game like this with like hardcore gamers. Like everybody loves these hardcore gamers, but they should have known that by now. But I guess they wanted the easy way out and just let him do what he wants to do. That was dumb, pretty much. I don't know if they thought he was on their side because at the end of the day, it's going to be him and his people from his season. So
Why do you think the survival players are like convicts?
not convicts, just con artists. I used the wrong word. It's self-explanatory how they're con artists. They say one thing and playing everybody and tricking people and doing stuff they don't want to do.
Do you think the isolation people are too nice?
Yes. Too nice.
Yeah, they kind of are. They're also a little hoity-toity, I gotta say, because
really?
I cannot get them to respond to emails. I tell you, I try. So it is Mike versus Delian in the memory comp. Any thoughts on that competition?
Delian, that's when it was with 1 point, right?
Yeah, and they had to answer questions about stuff that happened.
It was just luck at that point. I don't know if it was any right way of strategy to win that game. It was just a toss up for that.
Did you know any of those answers in the?
I knew some of them. I would have lost by a lot, but I knew like 3 of them. So.
So with this new power, Mike gets the twist. He gets to save one person, basically bringing them along to the end with him. He chooses Aspen. Aspen makes another final in a game. Thoughts?
I just want to say Mike is so fucking extra for no fucking reason. Like, it's some parts where he's supposed to be extra, but him making people waste their energy and time explaining themselves and why he should care, knowing damn well he was going to take Aspen, and Aspen just sitting there like, yeah, well, I like shut the fuck up. You already knew exactly he was going to pick. Like, you just wasting folks' time. I would have just said, like, bro, we already know he was a pick. It's self-explanatory he's a pick. It's obvious he's a pick. Because Aspen just sitting there smiling like, well, I'm good. I'm thinking he's going to, like, try to change him. I'm like, Mike ain't going to do that. He's not. So I just think it's funny. I was laughing when he was doing it too, talking about, so I need you to explain to me, like, he's just almighty or whatever. It's so funny to me. And Aspen just like,
yeah, so he tells people to fight for him to like choose them, and then every time Kelsey's saying something, he's shooting him down. So
right.
Kelsey's trying to fight for it, and then he just keeps shooting her down.
Like, he just wasted he wasted a whole 5 minutes with that whole little scenario right there. Him and Aspen, because Aspen shouldn't even try to explain herself.
So then this gets us to the final elimination challenge. And Fangai wants to be partners with Q after all this tangential talk at most of the season. Fangai and Q have to fight for their lives together in charades. Do you think they made a decent team?
Yeah, I think so. I hate to say this, but I think the reason why Treasure and them lost because their acting was not good. It was like straight to DVD acting. And I was like, that's not how you act that out. Because the whole windmill thing and Kelsey not knowing what a windmill was, I was like, this is cringe right now. Can't watch it. And like the story, I don't know. I don't know what that was. I get like after she explained it, like she was trying to explain it without Fangai finding out. I understood after that, but like while she was doing, I was like, what the fuck is she doing? Checking fucking proofreading script? What is she doing? But I was like, okay.
Yeah, they kind of struggled in that. I mean, it was kind of smart of Kelsey when she didn't know windmill to tell Treasure to do a word that rhymed.
Yeah, that was smart.
But yes, Treasure and Kelsey lose. Treasure did good in eliminations, though. She was just in so many of them. Eventually, it was going to get her.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we will get your final predictions then, since we kind of got through this a little quick. I'm just going to explain how this last episode works. Basically, it's just a bunch of challenges, really. But so it's basically the first 5 rounds, the first 5 challenges, the winner gets 1 point. The winner or winners get 1 point. The 6th round, however, is worth 2 points. And the person who has the most points at the end of 6 rounds wins the game. So I'm going to get your predictions on round by round of what do you think is going to happen. You look a little confused though. What
are the challenges?
So I want to explain that now. So in round 1, it's going to be like they're going to get different genres of different decades in music. They get to choose which decade and genre they want.
Aspen wins.
Do you think Aspen's going to win round 1?
Yeah.
So then if Aspen wins round 1, she'll get 1 point. And she also gets to choose her partner for the next challenge, which will be charades. So you think it's going to be Aspen and Fanguy versus Mike and Q.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think would win charades, though, out of that?
I think Mike and Q would win.
Let me keep track of this so I don't remember, just to see how accurate you are.
I've been right a lot of times. I think my first wrong was like when Treasure and Kelsey got
Yeah, you're pretty good at Survivor too.
Okay.
Q. So that would leave Mike, Q, and Aspen with 1 point, Fanguy with no points. So if Mike and Q win charades, they could either choose to stay as a duo or switch. Do you think any of them would switch partners?
See, I don't think Q would care to switch, but if Mike switches, I think he'll choose Aspen.
So you think he'll switch?
Yeah, like do both of them get a choice to change, or?
It's basically whoever raises their hand first, unless nobody raises their hand, then.
Q's not gonna give a fuck. Mike, if he wants to switch, he's gonna pick Aspen. But it would be smart if they're winning already to stay together. So I don't know. But I think he wants to take Aspen with him. Nick, you already know the answer. Just tell me if it's true.
What's your final prediction?
So when they take the person, what happens? I just want to know what happens, and I could choose.
Oh, well, then they'll just be partners in the next round.
Okay, I think he'll get Aspen. Wait, do they have to go against each other as partners eventually?
We'll get there.
See, Nick, you just be playing with folks, and I don't like it. I think he'll pick Aspen. Okay, he picked Aspen.
All right, so then if that's correct, it would be Mike and Aspen versus Q and Fanguy in Family Feud. Who do you think would win that?
System analysis is complete. Warning. Driver Tonic has detected 617 items.
Oh my gosh, that's why it's going slow. I'm sorry. Okay, what's it?
Who do you think would win Family Feud if it's Mike and Aspen versus Q and Fanguy?
Oh. See, I think Mike would carry his team. I'm not sure how good Q is with Family Feud, but Q is really smart. I think Mike and then will win because of Mike.
So that's your prediction?
Yeah.
So right now the score would be Mike and Aspen 2, Q1, Fanguy nothing. Going into the next round. Once again, they could choose if they want to switch partners. Do you think either Aspen or Mike would switch partners?
No.
So then they would go into a game of Pictionary. Who do you think would win Pictionary? Mike and Aspen or Fanguy and Q?
I don't want to be judgmental, but I don't think Aspen is a good actress. I don't think Mike is a good actor.
Well, this is Pictionary, so they'll be drawing.
Oh, Pictionary, drawing. Okay. Oh, well, Aspen won. Wait, did she? Or was it Fanguy?
It was Fanguy.
But he had Treasure. But Q is pretty good at that game too, as long as he's not drop it like it's hot. So I think Q and Vega win. I think. I don't like how you make me waste my time right now when you know what's going to happen.
We're just gonna see how this turns out. So after 4 rounds, you have the score as Mike, Q, and Aspen all tied at 2, Fanguy at 1. Going back into only single games now. Next round, round 5, is the cup game. They're gonna have to stack cups on their hand.
Yeah.
Who do you think would win that between those 4?
Mike has bigger hands. Mike and Fangui have bigger hands. So what I would assume, I'm gonna say Mike.
So
Wait, who played the last time? Who played the last time? Was it Mike and Fangui?
yeah.
Oh shit. I'm gonna say Mike. I'm gonna say Mike. I may be wrong.
So that would put Mike in the lead 3-2 to 2-1 going into the final round of trivia, but it's worth 2 points. Who do you think would win trivia between those 4 and possibly win the game? Let's us Fanguy who would tie.
What kind of trivia?
The subjects are science, history, sports, and TV.
Damn, they all good in there because science is Q, history is Mike, sports would be Fanguy. What was the other one? TV? I don't know if ask me to. I'm going to say I'm gonna go with man, it's either Q or Mike. Hate when I can't decide. See, this is what corn flipping comes in. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna just say Q. Did she win a trivia before? Or was it Mike?
In this game, it was Mike and DeLeon.
I'm gonna just say Q. I think Q is gonna take all the sciences.
So that means you are predicting a Q win, Q4, Mike 3, Aspen 2, Fanguy 1.
Sure.
Well, thanks for playing along with the game. Any final thoughts on the season you'd like to talk about?
It was actually an interesting game after all the because you were the host.
I know. Sorry.
Oh, and I like the part where what do you say? The backstab question. Dealing was like Nick.
What
You were like,
question?
I think it was the backstab. Wasn't it a backstab question?
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, he
And
picked
we
me.
were like, well, that's true, but but it was a great season. It was a good season. Had its moments. A lot of people play differently, but I still want to say at the end of the day, just me looking at it like game perspective, like if people were to go in like patch list, I don't think Aspen would still be in the game just because she been picking on me this whole time when I was in like survival. So I think Aspen got carried.
Well, I mean, that's been her blueprint for a game, though. She gets eliminated, comes back, and wins.
Smart.
We'll see if she could do it again. She would beat your record if she does.
Oh shit!
Aspen
I hope she
wins.
doesn't win. I hope she doesn't win. Just saying, I don't need nobody to beat my record right now. I think we're tied right now.
You hope what?
I think are we like tied right now? Like depends if she comes in second.
If she comes in second, you would be tied, yeah.
So she needs to come in last. Got it. I hope. Nate, tell me who won, man.
You will find out in about 3 days from this recording when it airs, hopefully.
If I get it right, I'm gonna just deem myself a psychic. I'm gonna open my own hotline and everything.
your IG stories weren't predicted very right so far between Chris Brown.
No,
and Usher.
I'm gonna tell you about these motherfuckers. Man. They're cheating because I know for a fact because you and Aspen were the only two I had an argument with. So it's just one person. I'm not gonna say their name. You might see this. Like when Usher wins, like it's clear who wins songs or whatever. But when Usher's song is better, they vote and they put Usher. But when they know Chris Brown's song is better, they don't vote. And they did like 2 times. That's why I made that post on Instagram. I was like, make sure you're not being biased and stuff. So I'm finna start not cutting her vote. That's what I'm finna do.
We'll talk about it on the other podcast later, I guess.
Talk about it. And Aspen asked not vote neither. She hasn't voted for 2 fucking rounds because she know Chris Brown won those rounds.
I think I skipped around too. But...
Okay. And you missed round 1. That was a title.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me for this podcast. We will see who wins in the finale in a few days. See everybody.
If you want to be extra.
You know I don't give away spoilers.
Of course.
Everybody next week.